buzz around the New York Yankees continues to grow as spring games keep giving fans new reasons to feel excited about what might be coming this season. One matchup in particular grabbed everyone's attention when the Yankees squared off against the Philadelphia Phillies in Clearwater, Florida. The final score showed a 4-2 victory for the Bronx Bombers, but the numbers alone do not fully capture the story of that afternoon. What truly stood out was the energy and confidence coming from the organization's young talent, especially the outfielders who are beginning to show exactly why so many people believe the future in the Bronx is incredibly bright. From a very first inning, the tone of the game shifted thanks to the explosive bat of Jason Dominguez. The young outfielder wasted no time making an impact, launching a powerful solo home run that immediately energized everyone watching. What made that swing even more significant was the side of the plate he was hitting from. Dominguez connected while batting from the right side, something that has historically been the less productive side of his switch hitting profile. Seeing him drive the ball out of the park from that side instantly became one of the most encouraging signs of the day. For fans who have followed his development closely, this moment felt important. Dominguez has always been known for his raw power and athletic ability, but there have been questions about consistency from the right side of the plate. Delivering a home run in that situation sends a message that his adjustments are starting to pay off. Throughout the game, he continued to look comfortable, finishing the afternoon with 2 hits in 3 at-bats, and even adding a stolen base that highlighted his speed and aggressiveness on the bases. Even though his offensive performance looked like something ready for the big leagues, there are still developmental goals the coaching staff wants him to focus on. Reports coming out of camp suggest that the organization would like him to continue sharpening his defensive instincts through everyday repetitions. That is one of the reasons he could spend additional time refining his game before permanently locking down a role at the major league level. Still, if his bat continues to perform like this, it will become harder and harder to keep him away from the spotlight in the Bronx. And the fireworks were far from over. Just one inning later, another young outfielder decided it was his turn to make some noise. Spencer Jones stepped into the batter's box and delivered a moment that had fans talking across social media almost instantly. The towering left-handed hitter connected with a massive swing that sent the ball soaring deep over the left center field wall. The blast traveled an estimated 416 feet, showcasing the kind of power that has made him one of the most intriguing prospects in the organization. What makes Jones' performance even more interesting is the timing. Only a short time earlier, he had been assigned to Triple-A, a move that sometimes feels like a temporary step backward for young players fighting to reach the major leagues. But instead of letting that decision affect his mindset, Jones responded in the best possible way by doing what he does best, hitting baseballs a very long way. That home run marked his 4th of the spring, reinforcing the idea that his power is becoming a serious weapon. Fans who followed his previous season already know how dangerous his bat can be. Across the upper levels of the minor leagues, he launched 35 home runs during the previous year, numbers that quickly turned him into one of the most talked about power hitters in the system. When players with that kind of ability start producing consistently during spring games, it naturally fuels excitement about what might be coming next. Watching Dominguez and Jones produce on the same afternoon created a wave of optimism that spread throughout the fan base. There's a growing sense that the Yankees may soon have an outfield filled with young, dynamic talent capable of changing the momentum of a game with one swing. For an organization that has always thrived on power and star potential, moments like these feel like a glimpse into the next chapter. While the young hitters grabbed most of the headlines, the pitching performance also offered plenty to discuss. Luis Gil took the mound and immediately showed the kind of electric velocity that has made him such an intriguing arm in the rotation conversation. Early in the game, he ran into a bit of defensive misfortune when a pop-up was dropped, forcing him to navigate through some unexpected pressure. Instead of unraveling, Gil stayed composed and continued attacking hitters. One of the highlights came when he froze a batter with a blazing fastball that reached 97 miles per hour. The pitch exploded through the strike zone and left no doubt about the kind of power he brings to the mound. Moments like that remind everyone why the Yankees remain so patient with his development. When his command and rhythm are working together, his stuff can be extremely difficult for opposing hitters to handle. The outing was not completely flawless, though. During the second inning, he allowed a run that was ruled unearned, and later in the game, he surrendered a solo home run that briefly allowed the Phillies to close the gap. Even with those moments, Gil managed to keep the overall performance steady. Over 3 1/3 innings, he gave up 2 runs, only one of them earned, while allowing 4 hits and striking out 4 batters without issuing a single walk. Perhaps the most encouraging detail was the control. Power pitchers often struggle with walks when they're dialing up high velocity, but Gil kept attacking the strike zone and trusted his stuff. That approach allowed him to limit damage and maintain the Yankees' advantage while continuing to build momentum as the game progressed. Once Gil's outing came to an end, the bullpen stepped in and completely shut the door. The relievers who followed combined to deliver several scoreless innings, preventing the Phillies from mounting any late comeback. Each pitcher executed their role efficiently, keeping hitters off balance and protecting the narrow lead that the offense had created earlier in the game. By the time the final out was recorded, the 4-2 victory felt like more than just another spring result. It felt like a day where several pieces of the Yankees' future stepped into the spotlight and reminded everyone of the talent waiting within the organization. Performances like these do more than win exhibition games. They fuel conversations about roster possibilities, player development, and the kind of lineup that might soon take the field at Yankee Stadium. For fans watching closely, the biggest takeaway was simple. The next wave of Yankees talent is not quietly developing anymore. It is starting to announce itself with loud swings, blazing fastballs, and moments that make it impossible not to imagine what the Bronx might look like once all of these young players fully arrive. And if the early glimpses from spring are any indication, the energy surrounding this new generation could be something truly special as the season approaches. Being a fan of the New York Yankees is not something that can easily be explained to someone on the outside. It is not just about watching games or checking box scores the next morning. For millions of people, following this team becomes something much deeper, something emotional that grows with you over time. Recently, a powerful reflection began circulating among fans that captured this exact feeling, describing the strange and beautiful contradiction of loving a team that can drive you crazy one day and make you feel on top of the world the next. Many supporters can trace that connection all the way back to childhood. For some, it began when they were 4 years old, sitting in front of the television with family members who already carried that passion. Others discovered the Yankees through a first visit to the stadium, seeing the bright lights, the sea of pinstripes, and hearing the roar of the crowd echo through the Bronx. However it started, the bond quickly became permanent. Once that connection forms, it never really goes away. People who are not deeply invested in sports often struggle to understand why fans care so much. They say games are just entertainment, that wins and losses should not have the power to affect someone's mood for an entire day. They question why people celebrate victories with such intensity or feel genuine disappointment after a tough defeat. But those who live and breathe Yankees baseball know that it goes far beyond the final score on the scoreboard. Think about the emotional impact a single roster move can have. When a superstar leaves the team, it does not simply feel like a transaction on paper. It feels personal. It feels like something important has shifted. Fans remember the moments those players created, the clutch hits, the celebrations, the memories built during dramatic games that seemed impossible to forget. When that chapter ends, it leaves behind a strange mixture of gratitude and heartbreak. At the same time, the joy of following the Yankees can be just as powerful. One victory can transform the atmosphere of an entire city. A walk-off hit, a dominant pitching performance, or a late-inning comeback can instantly unite thousands of people who might otherwise have nothing in common. In those moments, everyone wearing the familiar interlocking letters on their cap becomes part of the same community. Inside Yankee Stadium, that feeling becomes even stronger. When fans fill the stands wearing the same colors and cheering for the same team, there's a sense of belonging that is hard to replicate anywhere else. Strangers high-five each other after a home run. Entire sections rise to their feet when the game reaches a critical moment. For a few hours, everyday worries disappear and all attention shifts to the action unfolding on the field. That shared experience explains why Yankees fans are so passionate. It is why people shout at the television when a hitter chases a pitch in the dirt or groan when a close play does not go their team's way. Those reactions come from a place of genuine investment. The games matter because the memories attached to them matter. And despite all the frustration that can come with following a team through an entire season, supporters would not trade that experience for anything. The ups and downs are part of the journey. The heartbreak makes the victories sweeter. The tension of close games creates moments that fans talk about for years afterward. For many people, the most meaningful part of being a Yankees fan is the idea of passing that passion on to the next generation. Parents introduce their children to the team the same way they were introduced years earlier. It might begin with watching a game together on a summer night or bringing a young fan to the stadium for the first time. Slowly, that same spark begins to grow again. As those traditions continue, the legacy of Yankees fandom stretches across decades. Stories about legendary players and unforgettable games become family memories shared from one generation to another. That connection between past and present is part of what makes the franchise so unique. Being a Yankees fan means becoming part of something that existed long before you arrived and will continue long after. While the emotional side of the fan experience continues to shape the identity of the team's supporters, there are also important developments happening on the field as the new season approaches. One of the biggest pieces of news recently confirmed something that many people expected but still wanted to hear officially. The Yankees have announced their starting pitcher for opening day, and the responsibility will fall on the shoulders of Max Fried. When the season begins on the road against the San Francisco Giants at Oracle Park, Fried will take the mound as the leader of the rotation. The decision reflects both his experience and the incredible season he delivered the previous year. During that campaign, he established himself as one of the most reliable arms in the league, finishing with an impressive 19 victories. That performance placed him among the most successful pitchers in the entire sport and earned him serious recognition during the award voting process. For a pitcher in his first season wearing the famous pinstripes, it was a remarkable way to introduce himself to the New York fan base. His arrival with the Yankees came after signing a massive contract during the previous offseason, a deal that demonstrated how strongly the organization believed in his ability to anchor the pitching staff. Now, with the upcoming season about to begin, that trust is already being tested in a significant way. The rotation is currently dealing with several challenges as key pitchers work their way back from injuries. With important arms temporarily unavailable, Fried's role becomes even more important. Instead of simply being one piece of the staff, he now steps forward as the clear leader expected to set the tone every time he takes the ball. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Chaos is sweeping through the world of Major League Baseball as shocking news rattles fans and analysts alike. Rumors are swirling that the MLB has officially recognized a major error, one so significant that it has led to the unprecedented removal of an important title from the New York Yankees. Sources close to the league insist that this decision was not taken lightly, and the implications could reshape the perception of the team's legacy in recent years. Whispers around the clubhouse suggest that the controversy centers on a previously overlooked technicality in league rules, something that had apparently gone unnoticed during the original award process. While MLB has remained tight-lipped about the exact nature of the mistake, insiders hint that it involves irregularities in record-keeping or procedural missteps during a pivotal stretch of games. Fans and sports commentators alike are struggling to make sense of the upheaval, debating whether the error was an honest oversight or a systemic failure that calls into question broader oversight within the league. Social media has erupted in response to the rumors, with supporters of the New York Yankees expressing outrage and disbelief. "This can't be real," one fan posted on Twitter, while others launched threads dissecting every possible angle, from the historical impact of the strip title to speculation about potential penalties or repercussions for management and players. Analysts have suggested that the decision, if confirmed, could open a Pandora's box, encouraging fans of other franchises to dig through old records for similar anomalies. Meanwhile, speculation is mounting over how the team will respond publicly. Will the Yankees accept the league's acknowledgement of error quietly, or will they mount a challenge to reclaim their tarnished glory? Sports commentators are already weighing in, noting that the Yankees' reputation as one of the most storied franchises in MLB history makes this development particularly explosive. It's rare for such a high-profile organization to have a title officially revoked, and the decision, even as a rumor, has sent shockwaves through the baseball community. Experts suggest this saga could redefine how MLB handles awards and titles in the future. Questions are being raised about the integrity of past championships, the oversight mechanisms in place, and whether additional reviews of previous seasons might follow. Meanwhile, casual fans are glued to every snippet of news, eagerly awaiting confirmation or denial of the league's unprecedented move. Whatever happens, the whispers of scandal and error surrounding the New York Yankees are already fueling a narrative that promises to dominate sports media headlines for weeks, if not months, to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.